I'm joined now by former U.S. Attorney for Alabama, Joyce Vance. Joyce, great to see you. Thank you for being with us. Your first reaction to Alan Weisselberg, the Trump Organization's CFO, being given this immunity. What's your first reaction as somebody who's been at the other side of the deal on this, where you've given people immunity? Why?
So typically you give immunity to someone because you're hoping that they'll be able to either provide information or testify against someone who's a little bit higher up on the food chain than they are. You don't use a big fish to eat a smaller fish. So my read into this is that he gets immunity in the hope that he can provide help with someone else. And Cohen doesn't look like the big fish that SDNY would be going after here.
So the implication is there's a bigger fish. We're trying to figure out who the bigger fish is. The obvious choice is Donald Trump Sr., but it could be Donald Trump Jr. or Eric. Those are the only possibilities of somebody who's more senior to Weisselberg in the organization. Would that be true?
You know, at least in the organization. And it's important to say, when you give someone immunity and try to keep going up the chain in a prosecution, you don't always succeed. But these are good prosecutors. They know how to do these kinds of cases. It seems unlikely to me that they would have given Weisselberg a pass if they didn't think he had some value to offer them.
The benefit of immunity is that, I guess, you're supposed to tell the prosecutors whatever they want to know or whatever you know, and in exchange for that, you can't be prosecuted for the things that you tell them. I'm assuming there might be different flavors of immunity, but I guess the point is Weisselberg then can't get out there and plead the fifth.
You know, there are different flavors of immunity, and they come with some different rights and responsibilities. But one of the important things to remember about immunity is it's always better to have a witness who's cooperating with you voluntarily, because they'll share information that they know. They're doing that to get a good deal for themselves. When you give a witness immunity, you compel them to speak to you. The only answers you get are the answers to the questions that you know to ask that witness. So it's always preferable to have someone cooperating voluntarily, and it's just not clear yet what's going on here.
I need you to go deep into the recesses of your mind, into ancient history, all the way back to Tuesday. When Michael
years ago
Cohen,
in the Trump administration.
Right, it is. It's light years. And when Michael Cohen announced when they announced what was happening with Michael Cohen, strangely, the prosecution, the Southern District of New York, did not announce a cooperation deal with him. Now, a number of lawyers, and you and I have spoken since then, have told me that sometimes a cooperation deal emanates from a plea deal. Where do you think we are on that?
It's hard to know. I thought it was real surprising to see Cohen plead straight up to this indictment. Looks like he has someplace between 4 and 6 years of exposure. Hard to know why he would have done that. He could have possibly gotten some cooperation. There's been some speculation that his wife might have had exposure. He might have gone ahead and entered a plea of guilt to spare her. I just don't think we know yet. And of course, prosecutors could decide down the road that Cohen does have some value and conclude a cooperation agreement with him at a later time.
I think the tagline for the Trump administration is, I just don't think we know yet. Joyce, always great to see you. Thank you, at least, for helping us get through it. Joyce Vance is a former U.S. attorney. All right, much more to get to at the end of this incredible week of news. Still ahead, the question of just what may have changed in the last few days to change the way that prosecutors may confront the president. We've got that and much more ahead. Just stay with us.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.